Bank of Nigeria has increased the interest rate to 22.75%. All right, and what that means is more businesses, will have to bear the brunt of this. A lot of businesses are shut down already. More are still going to shut down because, can you afford this interest rate in the face of what is going on in the country right now? In fact, manufacturers are saying that more employees might be losing their jobs very soon. That's even if we don't go into recession. But Yemi Cardoso, who is acting CBN governor, has come out in a video to say that he is not responsible for the woes Nigerians are going through. Right, let me start with you, Mr. Shokuto, because you're a business and a finance expert. Interest rate at 22.75%. What is the translation of this, in common language to the average Nigerian out there?
Wahala.
Wahala.
You say in the common language, Yeah. So the easiest way to put it is just say wahala. I'm conflicted because on the one hand, it is wahala. Because what will happen is once you raise NPR is monetary policy rate. It's the benchmark rate that the entire economy takes its cue from. So lending rates, borrowing, deposit rates, everything will change as a result of this one single policy rate, which will then in turn have its own effect on different sectors of the financial markets. One major impact is that lending rates will go up significantly. If you were on 18.75 before, you moved to 22.75, a 4% increase. They call it 400 basis points in financial balance. 4% increase is the largest I've seen since I've been in this industry. I've never seen it. Usually increments are either 200. It's usually 0.5% or 1%. If you go to 1.5%, they will say it is aggressive. You are being very aggressive. You are trying to curtail inflation aggressively. I've never seen 4% before, so this is unprecedented. Maybe because there hasn't been monetary policy committee meetings for, we've missed 2 or 3. But you can't do catch up that way. Now, increasing interest rates by this much will automatically increase lending rates significantly. Lending rates would already have been hovering around 30-32%. It's not unthinkable that we'll hit 40%. Now, tell me, for any business, especially manufacturers and people in the productive sector, whose finance costs typically represent about 20, 30, 40% of total costs of the business, you may see them hitting 40, 50% of total costs going to finance cost alone. How do they recover their profits? So prices will go up, and then that will come back to the average man on the streets. That's why I say wahala. So there will definitely be an escalation of prices or a reduction in sales for these manufacturing companies, which will result in job losses. So one way or the other, it's dicey. The reason I said I was conflicted is, on the other hand, thanks to Godwin Emefiele and Oga Buhari, ways and means as a means of financing budget deficit had increased money supply over the last 8 years significantly. So money supply jumped in 1 year alone between December 2022, which year are we now? We're in 2024. Between December 2022 and December 2023, by 50%. We had a jump from 55 trillion naira to 78 trillion naira money supply. Now, the implication of this is that indeed that old too much money chasing too few goods definition of inflation will come into play. So you have too much money in the system, you drive exchange rate, it will devalue your naira, because all of that money must find expression somewhere, and people are going to take flight further. So the CBN does not have a choice but to rein in that liquidity. It's excess liquidity. They have to find a way to rein it in. Is it an increase in interest rate that will achieve that?
And then
and by that much
cash out there, Well, it costs us a lot of money again.
Absolutely.
Wow.
So, but apart from the cash, now money supply does not even refer to cash alone. Cash is just a narrow band of money. Money supply, there's cash, there's fixed deposits, there's current accounts. So you are talking of the entirety of money, the definition of money. So cash is a small segment. The real problem is that there is just simply too much money out there because the CBN was printing. When they say CBN prints money, it is not physical printing. It is that they are creating money that is not backed by value. So they will just create, they will debit an account and credit another account out of nowhere. That's money printing. So that money printing has increased money supply to the point where CBN had to act. But my own opinion is that increasing by 4% was too much. I think the CBN could have done a 2% increase and then found a way to aggressively play the money market instrument at their behest. Treasury bills, bonds, sell as much of this as you can aggressively. Having increased the returns on those things by increasing rates maybe by 2%, investors will come. Going 4% is going too far, in my opinion, and you can trigger if you don't trigger a recession, you will definitely trigger a slowdown in the economic growth rate. So for me, I really do envy Cardoso. It's difficult. We're kind of caught between the devil and the hard rock, and the WC. So, but we'll see how it plays out. I think that they felt that they needed to do this, and they've done it. It's an unnecessarily bold move, in my view. We will have to watch over the next 2 months. Usually, you will see the impact in 2 months. So let's wait for the next 2 months and see what happens to inflation in particular. Not forgetting, Mama P, I'm sorry. Not forgetting that inflation in Nigeria is not driven by money supply alone and monetary policy alone. And this is the problem I have. You are trying to rein in inflation by curbing liquidity, by aggressively increasing interest rates, without thinking of the impacts that the interest rate increase will have on the rest of the economy. When there are other drivers of inflation, even if you curtail money supply, inflation will not come down because you also have your exchange rate as a driver of inflation. You have food insecurity, you have physical insecurity, you have logistics and infrastructure challenges. All of these things contribute to inflation. So you cannot use money supply alone. So the CBN really needs to think harder about these things and recognize that they are not, the solution does not lie in only them. So when he was saying that we are the solution, he's wrong. The CBN is not the solution. The CBN should be a part of the solution. The Federal Ministry of Finance, the Federal Ministry of Trade and Investment, the Federal Ministry of Works, Budget and Planning, they are all part of the and they have to work hand in hand. This one, 4% is too much.
Thank you, Mr. Shopito, for putting perspective on that. All right, Mr. Degwe, we want to react to the interest rate going as high as 22.7%.
Somebody has a headache. You ask the person to go and drink water that come out of motor battery. Are you solving the problem? Look, what it means is this. Any businesses that you've taken loan, that you always take loan from bank to finance your business, now you are going to pay the interest rate of 22.75. All those people who import electronics is going to go up. Food is going to go up. Further more than what we have. Because bread, the jumping up, bread is going to go very high. Because all those raw materials being imported, we import nylons, packaging, majority of the raw materials we import it. And look, this is a sign that we need to focus on small scale business. Now we want to kill them for that. Then another thing again is a bank. Although their own could be a daughter or but the money they are going to also gain will also reduce. Because with this now, even their own, out of the money deposited with them, they cannot lend more than 25% if I understand it very well. With the cash ratio that CBN have put on ground, they can't give more than 25%. So what this now means is this. Those banks that are giving some people interest-free loan, although interest-free loan, they don't give it to those who that really need it, though they give it to all those who that did not have anything doing with business. Now the business is going very high, and when you kill the microeconomy, there is problem. I don't know how they are so much in rush. I was expecting them to give 2%. In 2 months, we are still going to meet.
Exactly.
Now look at the movement of that. we take further action. At times, from the times of Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, those people handling our economy. One thing is to be brilliant. Another one is to be practically oriented. 3, another one is to know about our economy. Majority of those people that are in charge of our economy, they don't know this economy. They don't know how Nigeria flow, because our own method of economy is different from the world. I'm telling you, it's so different. It's so different, and that is the problem. Now they are pushing this, and the Minister of Finance is shaking his head. He didn't say anything. Physical planning, they didn't say anything now. Don't, and with the deficit, what would have, like Mr. Shopiko said, what would have made sure work on this? The so-called we've been asking the government to do. So assuming there is a so-called, when you increase interest rate, that so-called will alleviate it. A business organization that you give palliative, I mean financial palliative, for a small scale business to grow. If he has no money to trade, and you ask that person to pay the lending rate, you know he has a so-called to build up. And that's why some people that are saying in fufu in UK now, it is being sold for £1. Those people in Nigeria should be celebrating. They don't know what economics is all about. Because their own £1, there is like our own ₦1. Can our own ₦1 buy fufu? They are just missing it. Even those people that you see, they are so intelligent, that you see they are learned. They are trying to compare economy. If UK is in recession, our own, we've died in recession. Because their own planning is okay. Look now, I have a friend that told me yesterday. This one is yesterday. He said, that okay, I'm so indebted in UK now. I said, how are you indebted? He said, his business, he took food business in UK. He said he was giving about £40,000 as a loan. I asked to pay maybe 7%. I said 7%. What is your indebted? Although he's making money and he's already paying it off, but now they've increased it to 9.5. I said, you pay it now. What's the problem? He said personally he collected individual loan from government on 5%. Tell me, if small scale business owners in Nigeria can have a lending rate of 9.5 for small scale, tell me, what is it going to be their shout? They won't shout if the business can boom. All right. So what is important there is that the way we are going with our economy, we are only using book theory. We are not using the practical. And if our model in the book doesn't correspond with what is the reality, I'm telling you, the way we have been speaking grammar during Minister Adanga is the same way we are going to be speaking grammar during this tenure also.
Thank you so much, everybody. All right, so the CBN's new interest rate stands at 22.75%, and that is the decision made by the Monetary Policy Committee, PC. They also raised the cash reserve ratio to 45%, while the liquidity rate ratio, was left unchanged, and it still stands at 30%.